Warning, censorship. Warning, censorship.
I started, talking about how weak his taser was, and because he said to me, "How'd you like that?" And I said, "That taser was weaker than you, buddy." And that was it. The taser's out again, and he's pointing at me, and he said, "Would you like another one?" And I said, "Mate, you can shoot me with that taser all day. I'm not doing shit for you." Boom, in goes the second taser.
For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini here in front of the Cobourg YMCA, where Brett Smith had an unfolding of events that seemed to start with a mask, ended up with himself being tasered twice by Cobourg police. Now, just this morning, I have received word that there was another taser incident that happened just yesterday. So Saturday, December 19th. Brett, your incident was Wednesday, December 16th. So 3 days apart from one another, same police officer, again, another gentleman, 65-year-old male here in Cobourg at the Staples, was tasered twice. All of these issues have started with the mask. Now, the funny thing in Brett's case here is that Brett was wearing a mask. Brett complies with the mask mandate here at the Cobourg YMCA, but his mask fell under his nose while he was enduring in some endurance training. And so, Brett, maybe we can start there and let me know how this situation unfolded for you.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, my dad even rang me from Australia and said, "Just wear your mask, mate. What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Dad, this wasn't about not wearing a mask. This was about questioning mask protocol, And really this started with just what I thought was a friendly chat with a woman that I've dealt with for a long time here at the club. Never had an issue at this club. And she, because there's no children here anymore, there's less jobs for certain people here anymore. So some people obviously, volunteered to enforce mask policy at the Y, and Barb was one of them. But then, I had what I thought was a friendly chat, actually. Yeah, I had my mask on, but on that day I was on a station and I basically had it on. It was like that. And I was on a station, so I could breathe. You can't train in a full mask, And she came up and said, "Oh, Brett, you've got to pull the nose above the..." And I went, "Yeah, okay, oh, sorry, Barb, I didn't realize this was a new," because in the past you could walk from station to station, and then while you were training, you didn't have to have the mask on. But this policy changed a couple of weeks ago, which I wasn't aware of.
The YMCA has decided to go ahead with a very loosely worded policy of their own. Again, Regulation 364-20 of the Ontario Reopening Act. There are clear stipulations there for mask exceptions, which also include for any time that one feels they need to remove their mask for health and safety. So it would be completely justified here, well working out, if someone decided that, hey, I need to catch my breath and I'm going to take my mask down for a moment to do so in the name of health and safety. That would have been justified as per the law. But here at the Cobourg YMCA, something different happened.
Yeah, well, and also we went from 6 feet apart to 9 feet apart. So you're really in a weight room with 3 other people and there's no one anywhere near you. And so when we had this conversation, she did genuinely, like some people are genuinely fearful of this virus. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist and it's not worth being feared of if you're an elderly person, but I said to her, "Look, honestly, Barb, don't be fearful of this virus. It's not what they say it is. It's not what it's blown up to be, but you're doing your job and I get it." In regards to this, so I believe there was an elderly gentleman really struggling on a station next to him, and I didn't point him out publicly, but I said, "Barb, this guy, you got to let him know he can pull that mask down for a couple of minutes, because what you're doing, you're going to kill someone here. Like one of these old people are going." And she said, "Well, we're only following Health Ontario rule." And now I find out that isn't the case. So they've actually added this little bit for themselves. Whoever added that policy to this club was, considering it does service a lot of elderly clientele, really needs to have their head examined, because they're going to kill someone here. So when I booked in for the appointment on the fateful day, came in, new person standing at the counter waiting for me. "Oh, Brett, just need to have a little chat with you." And I said, "Okay, sure. We went over, stood in the corner. She goes, look, there's been a couple of incidents. And I went, oh, please, this isn't about Barb, is it? And she said, oh, well, I'm not mentioning any names. And I said, well, okay, it's Barb. I said, all right, let's do this. And she said, well, hang on, you don't even know what I'm going to say yet. No, and I said, okay, look, we know what you're going to say. If this is a yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir lecture, then I'm happy to take it. But I am running late and I only have an hour and I'm 10 minutes late. So please, let's do it. And she goes, oh, well, I can understand why they had problems with you. And I went, well, I didn't know anyone had a problem with me till you're telling me now. And I said, but honestly, if their egos are so fragile, maybe they shouldn't be put into positions like this. Maybe they should be given other jobs in the club if they can't have someone voice an opinion on. And she said, oh, right, well, I'm cancelling your membership. And I went, what? What for? Why am I? And she said, your attitude stinks. And I went, okay, so is there a policy here for cancelled members? Can I appeal this in any way? And she said, no, I'm just cancelling it. I said, all right, well, I'm booked in, I'm paid up. I'm going to, while I go out there and work out, my paid workout, you can cancel my credit card, refund, and when I come back down, I'll go, you'll never see me again. And she said, no, don't go in there. And I said, well, I'm going in there, I'm working out. So I went upstairs and 5 minutes later, I looked up and in came, the big cop was, you could tell he didn't really want to be there. The little cop was very happy to be there. And as I always say to people, I was attacked for calling people Karens, and for being a misogynist and a sexist. But as I always say, Karen's not a gender, it's a mindset. So this guy was a Karen himself. So Cop Karen came flying in, all guns blazing with all the little Karens behind, and just started saying, you're being removed, I'm removing you from the club. And I was saying, what charge, what for? I'm paid member, I'm booked in, I'm not trespassing. No, you're moving because you're arguing with people about masks. And I said, well, as you can see, I got my mask on, I'm working out, mate. When I worked out, when they refund me, I'm gone, problem solved. And he said, no, you're going now. And I said, well, I tell you what, I'm prepared to go now, only on the condition that on the way out, I see my refund, because I've been asking these people about this refund now for at least a couple of months. And I'm not leaving till if I'm not going to be allowed to train, I want my membership refunded to me. And he said, I don't care about that. And I said, well, I don't care about you. And with that, he moved in, because I was sitting the whole time. I'm on a weight bench at this point, sitting with my hands folded here. I know
with your mask on.
Mask on, hands folded on the push-up, bench press. And I wasn't standing at all. I wasn't in a confrontational mode at all. I know how to deal with police. I've dealt with these people all my life. So I sit there, be quiet, respectful, head down, just stating my case. This guy moves in to grab me and I said, don't touch me, mate. Do not touch me. And with that, they both came in, lifted me up, one elbow under each elbow. But of course, one guy's 6'9", one guy's 5'2". So total imbalance, down goes 5'2". We're all on top of each other. And I was seriously talking to them the whole time. I said, are you seriously, look at you, look at the old people in this gym, look what you're doing. What's wrong with you, you know? And then he starts screaming, stop resisting. And at this point, I'm on the ground, my hands are clasped like that. I have the 6'9" or 8" dude on this half of my body, you know, Corporal Karen on this side, trying to pull his taser out, get his act together. And I said, buddy, I am not resisting at all. In fact, I'm on the bottom of the pile. What are you talking about? And they'd cleared the room by then, right? So then he starts screaming, I said stop resisting, I said stop resisting. And then I knew, I was like, all right, here we go. And out comes the taser, right? And he's furious. And I'm lying, still prone, hands on guy on top of me. And he looks at me and he says, do you want me to taser you? And I said, by that time I was furious. And I said, just effing do it, mate. Honestly, do it. And he just went boom, straight into the heart, right? And
we have the photos, Brett. You provided us photographic evidence with the tasers still attached directly there beside your heart.
Even better, I've got an emergency surgeon that took the taser out at Cobourg Hospital, who was so disgusted when she found out the real story. I've got a full report from her too. But anyway, so that pretty much just infuriated me. At that point, from that point on, up until then, I was totally respectful, no voice raised. But from that point on, I agree. I became verbally, but not even in a stupid, aggressive way, but just in a sledge way. We insult in an amusing way rather than
verbally.
I started, talking about how weak his taser was, and because he said to me, "How'd you like that?" And I said, "That taser was weaker than you, buddy." And that was it. The taser's out again, and he's pointing at me, and he said, "Would you like another one?" And I said, "Mate, you can shoot me with that taser all day. I'm not doing shit for you." Boom, in goes the second taser. And that's when the big cop started going, "This is out of control." And he said, "Listen, man, will you just stand up? We don't have to do this." And I said, "I didn't start this, mate. You guys started this." We were literally a minute from him entering to being on the ground tasered, 1 minute. And I said, "You guys came in guns blazing. I'm sitting here minding my own business. So as far as I'm concerned, you escalated this situation." And anyway, with that, we all got up. He cuffed the crap out of my hand, typical little cop. Totally cuffed the crap out of my hands. We wandered out, went to the hospital after that, and that's when because it's apparently a protocol where you have to get pulled out. And that was charged with trespass, assault police, resist arrest. And that's what I said. I said, "Who got assaulted? I was the one that got assaulted. How am I being charged?" And the big cop was like, "Well, even if you pull your arm away, if you just remove your arm, that's assault in Canada." And I was like, "Really? Okay." I said, "What I'm interested in is any judge in Canada that's going to look at a guy like your partner shooting 2 tasers into a 55-year-old man's heart, who was wearing a mask just because he questioned mask protocol." So I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing that little germ on the witness box. I was going to go easy on the cops until I heard that he'd done it again.
Today.
And then I was like, no, all bets are off. The cops are going to go down on this one too.
And so again, that's just today. The same responding officer, Officer Cunningham, once again tasered a 65-year-old gentleman 3 days after this incident with Brett twice. So I am on the hunt for this gentleman. I think I've tracked him down, so we'll see if that report is to follow. I have followed up with the Cobourg Police, Police Chief Paul Van de Graaf. Interestingly enough, when I was following up with the local YMCA, Police Chief Van de Graaf does sit on their board of members. So we'll see what the comment from them, what they have to say about the incident. Of course, we'll reach out to both sides, get both sides of the story, and stay tuned as the masked craziness continues. For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. If you like the story and coverage I'm bringing you today, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Rebel News YouTube channel. Oh, and sign up to our mailing list at rebelnews.com just in case the Ministry of Truth decides to throw the book at our platform. That's rebelnews.com.